Hello, my name is Adam from Wargaming, and today I'm going to show you a little product review on these really cool Green Stuff World base rollers, where you get some cool textures on your bases. So let's check it out. Alright, so this is basically the way that it works, and I'll give you a brief overview and then we'll zoom in and we'll do a really practical step-by-step. So you imagine you have your base for your model, and then you find a really cool rolling pin with a neat texture on it that you can put some green stuff on your base and roll it out so you get that texture. So I ordered a whole bunch and made a cool little holding pouch so I could put them all in there and sort them out. And they have really neat little patterns, so like Celtic runes, let's see, double diamond metal grating, which is cool, wood texture, you can imagine for bases like Malifaux or Fantasy or something like that. We got cool hexagon patterns for like sci-fi bases. We got brick, yeah, really cool for Mordheim, something like that. Triple hexes. I got cobblestones. We got cracked frozen ice, which is really cool. That would be really neat. We got a factory flooring, which is the one I'm going to use for the example because I'm going to use it on my U-Ching for Infinity. And then just plain ones to make it smooth and easy. So I'm going to show you step by step how to use these, how to use them effectively and properly. Let's jump right in. And here is all the materials you'll need to use these Green Stuff World base rollers. So I've just picked one as an example, and it is the factory. So the factory rolling pin, I got the plain rolling pin, I got a hobby knife, my bases, I got my green stuff. This is Knead-A-Tite, the original, the classic. I got a little paintbrush, some canola oil, and then I just did some test runs to make sure I knew exactly what I was doing. So let's zoom in, let's do these things one at a time and step by step walk through this. Alright, so normally I wouldn't show such a basic step as this, but since this is such a large part of this project, I'm just going to show you how to do some green stuff. So first off, we'll just get it ready. So we got our yellow and our blue, and the blue is the hardening agent, so we'll just pull out. I'm going to get a whole bunch because I can do all these bases here today. So oop, I ripped off some plastic with it. Oops. Alright, so we got our yellow. Perfect. Now let's get an equal slice. It's probably too much. You can always do more, you can't do less. Alright, fine, we'll be smart about it. Okay, get off some blue. Let's see, is that about equal? I just kind of make two blobs and see if they're about the same size. Pretty close. I think I need a little bit more blue. Okay. Now I find the best way to do this is to just do a twisty. So like literally make one big twisty. Alright, now it looks all yellow, but it's actually yellow and blue all mixed together. And then I fold them half a few times, make another twisty. Sweet. This is like the fastest way to do this. Alright, and half again. Just keep twisting it up. Alright, now let's just smush it all together. So twisty, 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 smush. Bam, you got green stuff. Alright. I can see a few bands of blue and yellow. Just keep kneading. There we go. Alright, so now that those are mixed, you have about 40 minutes realistically to work with this. And so I have 7 bases to do. Hopefully I can get through all of them. So the best thing to do is, if you don't want to get this on your hands, I use like the oil grease from my nose on my fingers. Like I'll just rub it on my fingers, the oil grease on my nose. Or you can take some chapstick, grease up your fingers or something like that, I like to lay it down somewhere as well, so I just chapstick up the surface I'm going to lay it on so it doesn't stick to it. But that's also why I have the canola oil. So just pulled that out. That just helps prevent the green stuff from sticking to things. Great. So let's keep moving on. So I have some examples, okay? This is eventually what this is going to look like. So you can see some pretty cool details on there. Nice green stuff. It's still drying. So what I will do is, like, when it's fully dry, I'll trim the edges so it's a perfect circle. But for now, you got those details on there. Perfect. Alright, so we're going to make a whole bunch of bases that look just like that. So those are my examples. I did those up just to make sure I was doing this right and not teaching you guys a whole bunch of garbage. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a piece of green stuff, okay? Fairly substantial. I'm just going to kind of like test fit to make sure it like spreads over the whole base. Beauties. Looks like we're pretty much there, so that's great. Alright, now let's get it off, because what I actually do want is just to put a tiny bead of super glue on this base. Alright, and that's just literally to help keep the green stuff in one place. Alright, so that's on there, and I'll just kind of spread it out a little bit even. Doesn't have to be perfect, you know, but a little bit. And that's what this guy is for. And so I have the paintbrush and the canola oil here because I do want to keep these things greasy so that the green stuff doesn't stick to it. Alright, and now you just kind of, you know, let's roll this around. Alright, so realistically this one we just want to keep it flat. We just want to make a nice flat surface. Alright, so you can see I'm just kind of pushing it back and forth. Easy. Alright, so you can see, let's get right in there. Super flat. Let's see. There we go. Nice and greasy and shimmery, but nice and flat, which is what we want. Alright, and so now you have your roller, and you see there's different patterns on here. So, you know, line up a spot that you think looks really cool, because it's a very small base, and considering how large this thing is, there's a lot of surface area going back and forth here. So we do want to pick a nice spot. So let's say I really like this you know, kind of chevron pattern right here, and you know, some of these gratings. Yeah, so let's do it right around here. Alright, so now while doing my examples, I found the biggest thing was keeping this thing even the whole way across, which is pretty tough. So here we go. Let's just pick an entry point, and alright, and now I'm just going to roll it, trying my best to be firm and even the whole way across. Alright, and there's what it looks like. So we'll leave that aside to dry, and then we can clip off the extra trim that's kind of hanging over. If you look here, right, it's like hanging over the side. All we gotta do is just trim that off. So not bad for one of those. Let's do one more on camera for you guys, just so you can get the feel, and then I'll get back to you with a whole bunch of completed bases. So same thing again, tiny bit of super glue. Perfect. A little bit goes a long way because you're not giving it much space to hang out. Alright, a little bead of green stuff. I'm just going to spread it out into a basic circle with my fingers. Alright, pretty good. There we go. Spread it out a little bit. Let's get our clear, roll it on, make it even, nice and flat. The more flat it is at this point, the more you're setting yourself up for a win in the next stage. Alright, now let's pick our point. So I think there's this cool biohazard marking right here. I think I want to get that. So with these things, you really have to canola oil it up. I already had that one spot pretty greased up, but these This spot I have not done yet, so let's grease it up. So I want the biohazard in some of these lines, so let's get nice and greasy. Fabulous. All right, let's try it. Here we go. Plant. Be firm all the way across. Oh, you see we lifted up a little bit. Must have just peeled up. Super glue didn't help me out at all. So what I'll do is just push all of this back onto the top of the base to correct it. Push it all back onto the top of the base. Flatten this out again with my fingers. You see I'm not getting any super glue contact there at all. So I'm just going to take a tiny bit of super glue. Just help flatten it down so it doesn't come up. That's why I use the super glue, right? So it doesn't come up like it just did there. Okay. Here we go. Okay, now flatten it out again with this guy. Get the plane. That looks pretty flat to me. Alright, let's get this biohazard duder on here. And I actually realized that I missed the wording biohazard, so I really want to get that on there. Not that it has to be centered, but actually I'm going to put a little off center. Good idea. So there we go. Came up a little bit again. What's up with that? Let's push it back down. Not bad. Alright, cool. So we got our little biohazard base there. Let's leave that aside. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and finish the last 4 for my new Infinity models that you guys will see some unboxings for. And I'll get back to you when they're all done. And there we have a bunch of bases all finished up. So let's pull some up close. Just the zoom. Alright, there it is. So what I did is just run a knife along the edge here as well to make the edge smooth. And there you go. You can see you get a really cool base. As well, I'll show you, I've attached a model to one of them. And this is an Infinity model. It comes in the Season 6 pack. Yeah, the Dire Foes. What's her name? The Freelance Stringer. From, yeah, Mission Pack 6, Defiant Truth, from the Operation Red Veil add-ons. Anyways, so match my Yu-Ching force up nice, so do those roller bases. I think it looks really sweet. It'll fit in just perfectly. So, what I am going to show you as well is just how to attach a model to a base. This one, because it has a nice big surface area on the box there, you can just glue it on top. But like, what about a model like this Guilang Skirmisher who has very tiny feet? What do? How do we attach that? Well, basically, all we're going to do is let's pick a base that we think will look nice. So let's get rid of some of these, and we'll just keep the biohazard one because I think that's pretty cool. And what we're going to do is, she used to have a piece of metal that went all the way across the feet, right? And all I did was I clipped it down so there was a little tiny little peg right here. So I used my clippers and I clipped it down so it was just a little peg. Let me adjust this focus here. I clipped it down so it's just a little peg. Now I'm going to take a drill bit and I will drill a hole in my base and insert her in there. So I'm going to map it out so where the best spot is to have her standing. I think just like that. Okay, now what I do need to do is adjust this post a little bit so it angles straight down. Alright. Just test that again. Much better. Okay. So just take my drill bit. Drill all the way through this base without drilling your finger. Alright, so we got all the way through. Now hopefully our pin is small enough that it'll just fit inside there. Looks like it might just be. I think I'm going to try and trim it just a tiny little bit more. So just be careful as you do this. Always go, yeah, because it's super fragile, but it just gives you that little bit of contact, so it'll just stick in there nice and tight. Okay, so trimmed it up a little bit. Just take some super glue on there. I'm using hot stuff glue. It's pretty decent out of the stuff you can get at my local hobby shop, so that's just what I use. And shove that peg in there. Attach the other foot on the other side. And there you go. There's one Green Skirmisher on a really cool Green Stuff World rolled out base right there. Alright, so that's it. You now officially know how to use the Green Stuff World base rollers. You can use this on terrain, you can use it on bases. Very cool. Let's get these back on the shot so you can take a look again. And there's many different kinds. They have like cobblestone, they have Celtic weaves, they have wood, they have hexagon patterns to make cool alien bases. They have like frozen cracked ice, bricks, all sorts of really neat stuff for different types of miniatures and different types of, like, you could do science fiction or fantasy and all that kind of stuff. So very cool. That's how you use them. Guys, that's the end of the video. And I'll tell you what, if you liked this video, you could just go down there and hit subscribe and click the little bell so you get notifications. Also, if you really like this video, you can support everything we do here on the channel. For as little as $1 a video, you can go down to the video description below and go to our Patreon page. And Patreon is the way you can support us. Like I said, for as little as $1 a video, you can support everything we do on the channel, help things grow, help us get a studio space, help us get new equipment so we can continue to improve the quality. And that's that. So, until next time, we'll see you at our next encounter.
Like a monkey in a rocket on his way back home. Okay.